You ever notice how most of the things we stress about never really turn out as bad as we imagine? We spend nights overthinking, mornings doubting, and days trying to control what's already written. Worry becomes a habit. We wear it like armor, thinking it protects us from failure. But truth is, it only blocks our blessings. The moment you stop worrying, life starts to breathe again. Doors open smoother. Opportunities find you easier. Your mind gets quiet enough to hear what your heart's been trying to say. See, worry is heavy. It drains your spirit. It slows your movement. It clouds your vision. You can't move freely when you're constantly questioning what's next. But when you finally let go, when you choose faith over fear, trust over tension, everything around you begins to shift. You stop chasing what's not meant for you, and you start attracting what's already yours. That's the power of release. That's the moment peace steps in. So today, I want to talk about what happens when you stop fighting the unknown and start trusting the process. When you stop worrying and everything piece by piece finally starts to fall into place. Faith over fear. That's where everything begins. See, worry is just a disguise for fear. It's the mind's way of saying, Var, I don't trust what's coming next, but when you shift that energy from fear to faith, everything changes. Faith doesn't mean you see the whole path. It means you move even when you don't. It's that quiet confidence that says, I might not know how, but I know it's going to work out. Fear limits you. Faith frees you. Worry ties you to the past or traps you in the future, but faith keeps you grounded in the present. That's where your power is. That's where life unfolds. Every time you worry, you're sending energy to what you don't want. You're feeding doubt, and doubt is a dream killer. You start thinking small, acting hesitant, and second guessing yourself. But faith lets you breathe again. Faith lets you walk through uncertainty like it's solid ground. It's that moment when you stop trying to control everything and just trust that your effort is enough. You've done your part. Now you let life do its part. The truth is, worry doesn't protect you from pain. It only steals your peace before it even happens. Think about the moments in your life when you were most worried. Maybe you didn't know how the rent was getting paid, or you were scared to take that next step, start that business, or walk away from something familiar. In those moments, worry didn't fix anything. You lost sleep, lost focus, maybe even lost faith. But when you finally said, whatever happens, I'll deal with it, that's when things started to shift. That's the universe responding to trust. When you stop stressing over the outcome, you allow the outcome to unfold naturally. The energy you put out changes from desperation to direction. Faith isn't blind. It's rooted in experience. It comes from every storm you've already survived. It's built from moments when you thought it was over, but somehow you made it through. That history, that's your proof. Every time you thought you couldn't handle it, but you did, that's evidence that you're being guided, even when it doesn't look like it. Worry forgets those receipts. Faith remembers them. See, fear makes you reactive. Faith makes you intentional. Fear tells you to play safe, stay small. Don't take risks. It whispers, what if you fail? Faith says, what if it works? When you move in fear, your energy gets scattered. You're trying to plan every possible outcome, trying to anticipate every setback, and that drains you. But when you move with faith, you start trusting timing. You stop rushing the process. You start seeing setbacks as setups. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? That's when growth happens. Faith also changes your vibration. You start attracting different things because you're not operating out of panic anymore. You move different when you know everything's working for your good. You speak different, you walk different. You stop chasing and start aligning. You realize that the right opportunities don't need to be forced. They find you when you're ready. Worry makes you chase what isn't yours. Faith makes you prepare for what is. There's a peace that comes with letting go of control. It's not laziness, it's wisdom. It's understanding that not everything needs your hands on it. Sometimes your only job is to show up, stay consistent, and keep your spirit right. The rest will align when the timing's right. Faith allows you to rest while you work. It lets you be grateful even when it's not perfect yet. It gives you a vision that's bigger than your circumstances. The moment you stop worrying, you open space for clarity. You start hearing your intuition again. You start recognizing signs you were too anxious to see before. Worry clogs your connection to your purpose. Faith cleans it up. That's why some people keep spinning their wheels. They're so busy worrying about what might go wrong that they can't see what's already going right. Faith doesn't mean everything will be easy. It means you'll be ready when it's not. It's the muscle that keeps you grounded when life shakes. The truth is, you can't fake faith. It shows in how you respond when things don't go your way. Do you fall apart, or do you breathe and keep moving? The more you choose faith, the less room worry has to grow. Eventually, you realize that everything that looked like chaos was really coordination. Every delay was direction. Every closed door was protection. That's when you understand you were never really lost, you were being led. And the moment you stop worrying is the moment you start walking in that truth. Faith is freedom. It's the art of knowing that no matter what it looks like right now, everything is still falling into place. Control what you can. That's one of the hardest lessons life will teach you. Most people spend their energy fighting things they can't change, trying to rewrite what already happened or predict what hasn't even come yet. That's where worry lives, in the space between what you want to control and what you actually can. Real peace begins when you stop trying to manage the entire world and start mastering yourself. The truth is, life will always move how it wants to. People will switch up, plans will fall apart, opportunities will come and go. You can't always decide what happens, but you can always decide how you move through it. That's your real power. When you focus on what you can control, you stop wasting energy on what you can't. You start moving with intention instead of reaction. That's how you protect your peace. You can't control the weather, but you can control how you dress for it. You can't control if people support you, but you can control how hard you work when they don't. You can't control the pace of the journey, but you can control how you show up every day. The shift happens when you stop asking, why has this happened to me? And start asking, what can I do with this? That question alone turns obstacles into opportunity. Worrying is often a sign that you're trying to control the uncontrollable. You're trying to play both your part and life's part at the same time, but that's not how it works. Your job is effort, not outcome. You plant the seed, but you don't control the rain. You can't make the seasons change faster. All you can do is tend to the ground you stand on, your mindset, your discipline, your habits, your focus. The moment you put energy into something outside that zone, you lose your balance. And when you lose balance, worry creeps in. Control is about boundaries too. It's about knowing where your responsibility ends and where someone else's begins. You can't control people's actions, their opinions, or how they feel about you. You can only control your response, your attitude, and your integrity. Too often, people carry stress because they're holding weight that doesn't belong to them, trying to fix someone, trying to change the past, trying to predict what's next. But you can't fix what's not yours to fix. The most freeing thing you can ever do is let go of what isn't in your hands and give full attention to what is. The truth is, control doesn't mean force. It means focus. It's not about dominating life. It's about directing your energy. Every day you wake up, you get to choose your thoughts, your effort, your reactions. That's where your control lies. You can wake up bitter or you can wake up better. You can dwell on what's missing or you can build with what's here. You can't stop storms from coming, but you can learn how to dance in the rain. That mindset turns pressure into power. When you stop worrying about things you can't control, you reclaim your energy. You stop running in circles, replaying situations you can't rewrite. You start putting that same energy into growth, healing, creation, consistency. And that's when things start to shift around you. You start to realize how much you were missing while you were busy overthinking. Sometimes the door doesn't open because you're standing in front of the wrong one, banging on it too long. When you finally let go, life shows you the path that was always waiting. People often confuse control with preparation. Preparation is power. It's doing what you can today so you're ready for tomorrow. Control is illusion. It's believing you can dictate tomorrow itself. There's a difference. Preparation builds confidence. Control builds anxiety. The more you try to control outcomes, the more you fear losing them. But when you focus on what's in your power, your work ethic, your attitude, your choices, you become unshakable no matter what happens. You stop reacting to life and start responding with wisdom. Letting go of control doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care differently. You care enough to give your best and trust that your best is enough. You care enough to accept that some things aren't meant for you, no matter how bad you want them. You care enough to walk away from what drains you and invest in what grows you. You learn that surrender isn't weakness. It's strength in disguise. It's saying, I've done my part. Now I'll let time, effort, and faith do the rest. The truth is, peace isn't found when everything goes your way. It's found when you stop needing it to control what you can, your focus, your discipline, your response, and you'll find that life starts flowing smoother. The things that once stressed you out lose their power because you no longer feed them. You start seeing setbacks as setups, delays as direction, and change as growth. You realize that trying to control everything was never protecting you. It was blocking you. Because when you finally let go of what you can't control, you make room for what's meant to find you. The power of patience is something most people overlook because the world moves fast. Everything around us teaches urgency, instant results, quick money, fast success. But real growth doesn't work like that. Real transformation happens in silence, in seasons where it looks like nothing is moving. Patience is the art of trusting the unseen process. It's not just waiting, it's waiting with purpose. It's knowing that what's meant for you won't miss you no matter how long it takes. Most people give up not because they can't do it, but because they can't wait long enough for what they're building to take shape. Patience is power because it keeps you grounded when the world is rushing around you. It teaches you to breathe in the middle of chaos. It gives you the strength to keep going even when the results don't match your effort yet. Every dream has a season of planting before the harvest. You can't skip the soil stage. You can't demand fruit when the roots are still forming underground. The time you spend waiting isn't wasted. It's preparation. The lessons The discipline, the mindset, that's what patience builds in you. Without it, success would break you because you wouldn't be ready to carry what you were asking for. There's a rhythm to everything in life. When you move too fast, you step out of sync with that rhythm. You start forcing things, chasing things, trying to create shortcuts that end up costing more in the long run. Patience reminds you that timing matters just as much as effort. You can plant the right seed, but if you plant it in the wrong season, it still won't grow. Sometimes life delays things not to punish you, but to prepare the environment for your arrival. What's meant for you might not be ready yet, or maybe you're not ready for it. Patience bridges that gap. The hardest part about patience is the silence. That stretch of time where you're putting in work but seeing no return. That's where doubt starts talking loud, trying to convince you that it's not working, that maybe you're wasting time, but that silence is sacred. It's where faith is tested. It's where character is formed. The truth is, everyone loves the outcome, but few can handle the process. Patience separates those who wish from those who build. It's easy to start something with excitement. It's harder to stay consistent when that excitement fades and all you have left is your belief in the vision. Patience is also about trust, trusting yourself, trusting your path, trusting that divine timing never misses. The problem with rushing is that you might get what you want before you're strong enough to hold it. You might meet the right opportunity, but still have the wrong mindset. Patience allows you to mature into the person your blessings require. It teaches you to value the journey, not just the destination. The lessons learned while waiting often become the foundation for everything that comes after. Impatience comes from comparison. When you look at someone else's timeline, you start questioning your own. You start thinking you're behind because their chapter looks different from yours. But life isn't a race, it's a rhythm. Everyone moves on their own beat. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. The waiting season is often the most important one. It's where you sharpen your vision, refine your craft, and build endurance. Every setback, every delay, every detour is shaping you in ways you can't always see. When you have patience, you stop forcing connections, rushing outcomes, or chasing validation. You start understanding that what's meant for you will always align at the right moment. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to compete for it. You just have to keep doing the work, stay consistent, and keep your energy clean. Patience doesn't mean being passive. It means being persistent without panic. It's showing up every day, even when the reward isn't visible yet. Because you know that seeds take time to break through the soil. There's a kind of calm that comes with true patience, a quiet confidence that no matter how long it takes, it's still coming together. You stop measuring time by results and start measuring it by progress. You stop doubting yourself just because it's taking longer than you planned. You start realizing that slow growth builds strong roots. Fast success can crumble. Slow success endures. Everything lasting in life takes time, love, healing, wisdom, purpose. Patience gives all of that space to unfold naturally. In the end, patience isn't just about waiting for something to happen. It's about who you become while you wait. It's about learning to move through uncertainty with peace instead of panic, learning to appreciate small steps instead of only chasing big wins. When you master patience, you master timing. You stop worrying about when things will happen because you trust that when it's time, nothing can stop it. Patience doesn't delay your destiny. It prepares you for it. And that's where your real power lies. Energy alignment is the silent key to everything you attract in life. Every thought, every emotion, every action carries a vibration. That vibration sends a message to the world about what you're open to receive. When your energy is scattered, anxious, or negative, life mirrors that back to you. But when your energy is calm, grounded, and focused, the universe starts responding in kind. You start noticing that the right people, opportunities, and ideas begin crossing your path effortlessly. It's not magic, it's magnetism. You attract what matches your state of being. Most people try to change their circumstances without changing their energy first. They want new results while carrying old habits, old fears, and old attitudes. But that's like trying to tune into a new radio station while staying on the same frequency. You'll never hear the right music until you adjust the dial. Energy alignment means getting your internal world right before expecting the external world to shift. It's about cleaning up your mindset, protecting your peace, and staying in flow even when life throws you off balance. Because the truth is, chaos can't touch someone who's aligned from within. When your energy is off, it shows. You start forcing things that should flow. You start holding on to people who drain you because you're afraid of letting go. You chase outcomes because you're scared of being still. But alignment teaches you that peace is power. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what feels right. It's about listening to your intuition and trusting it even when it doesn't make logical sense. Your intuition is the language of your energy. When you're aligned, it speaks clearly. When you're scattered, it gets drowned out by noise. Energy alignment is also about boundaries. You can't stay in balance if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, drama, or doubt. The people you spend time with influence your vibration. If you hang around chaos, you start vibrating at that frequency. If you stay around peace and purpose, you begin to match that energy. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's necessary. You can't pour into your vision when you're constantly drained by distractions. The more aligned you are, the less interested you become in things that waste your energy. You start realizing that not everything deserves your reaction. Silence becomes your power move. When you're aligned, you move with intention instead of emotion. You stop chasing things out of fear, fear of missing out, fear of being left behind, fear of not being enough. You start creating from a place of faith and flow. You realize that what's meant for you doesn't need to be forced. It flows naturally when you're in the right space to receive it. Sometimes alignment means walking away from good things that no longer fit your frequency. It's understanding that growth will shift your energy and not everyone will grow with you. That's okay. When your energy elevates, your environment will eventually match it. You can always tell when someone's aligned by how they carry themselves. They move differently, not in a hurry, not desperate, not easily shaken. They trust the timing of their life. They know that their energy is their currency and they spend it wisely. They don't argue with people who misunderstand them because they know alignment speaks louder than explanation. They focus on staying centered, grounded, and clear because that's where their power lies. When you move from that space, things that once felt out of reach start falling into place effortlessly. Your energy also determines how you interpret life. When you're aligned, challenges don't break you, they teach you. Delays don't frustrate you, they redirect you. Rejection doesn't lower your value, it reminds you that not everything is meant for your path. That mindset shift changes everything. You stop fighting what's happening and start flowing with it. You learn to trust that if something falls away, something better is lining up behind it. That's the rhythm of alignment. Everything that's meant to stay will feel lighter, not heavier. Being in alignment doesn't mean you never have bad days. It means even on the bad days, you know how to bring yourself back. You know how to breathe, reset, and return to center. You become aware of your triggers, your energy leaks, your patterns. You start catching yourself when you fall into worry or negativity, and you shift your focus before it spirals. That's self-mastery, being able to redirect your energy on purpose. Over time, that becomes your superpower. Energy alignment is really about trust, trusting yourself, trusting the flow, trusting that everything happening is moving you toward balance. You start to see that the energy you carry shapes the life you live. If you stay aligned with gratitude, purpose, and peace, you naturally draw in more of the same. Life starts reflecting your inner world back to you with precision. You don't chase anymore, you attract. You don't beg for clarity, you create it. You don't wait for signs, you become one. That's the quiet magic of alignment. When your energy is right, everything around you starts finding its right place too. Letting go to level up is one of the hardest but most necessary parts of growth. Everybody wants elevation, but few want to release what weighs them down. The truth is, you can't carry everything and still climb higher. Some things, some people, some versions of yourself aren't meant to go where you're headed. Letting go isn't about loss, it's about space. You can't receive new blessings with your hands full of old burdens. Growth asks for sacrifice, and sometimes that sacrifice looks like walking away from comfort, control, or connection. It's not easy, but it's essential. The problem is we often hold on out of fear of change, fear of being alone, fear of uncertainty. We convince ourselves that holding on keeps us safe, but really it keeps us stuck. You can't step into your next chapter if you're still rereading the last one. Letting go is trusting that what's meant for you won't need to be forced. It's understanding that closure isn't always a conversation. Sometimes it's a decision you make in silence. It's knowing that you don't need to chase what's not choosing you or fix what's breaking your peace. The moment you stop fighting to control what's leaving your life, you make room for what's trying to enter it. Leveling up requires detachment, not from love or emotion, but from expectation. You start realizing that not everything you lose is a loss. Sometimes it's redirection in disguise. The universe doesn't take things away to hurt you, it takes them away to clear your path. The job that fell through, the friendship that faded, the door that closed, all of that was alignment at work. You might not understand it in the moment, but later you look back and realize that what you thought you needed was only blocking what was meant for you. Every ending carries the seed of a beginning, but you can't see it if you're too busy holding on to what's gone. Letting go also means shedding old versions of yourself. The person you were 5 years ago, even last year, might not fit the vision you're building now. Growth demands evolution. It means unlearning the habits that kept you small, the mindsets that made you doubt your worth, the cycles that kept you repeating the same lessons. It's about looking at yourself honestly and saying, I can't keep living like this if I want something different. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. The more you grow, the more you outgrow. It's natural. You just have to stop feeling guilty for choosing peace over familiarity. A big part of letting go is emotional release. We carry so much tension, regret, resentment, disappointment, like emotional baggage that weighs down our spirit. You can't move freely when you're dragging the past behind you. Forgiveness isn't about letting people off the hook. It's about freeing yourself from the energy that keeps you stuck in replay. You can't heal while you're still angry about how things ended. You can't move forward while you're still wishing things went differently. Sometimes you just have to breathe and say, it is what it is, and trust that what's ahead is better than what's behind. People talk about leveling up like it's glamorous, but it's not. It's messy, uncomfortable, and lonely sometimes. You lose things that once defined you. You spend seasons in isolation. You question if you're doing the right thing. But every time you let go of something that doesn't serve your growth, you create space for alignment, clarity, and opportunity. It's like pruning a tree. You cut back the branches not to harm it, but to help it grow stronger. The same applies to your life. Every release creates room for expansion. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means giving into flow. It's surrendering the illusion of control. You stop trying to force timelines and start trusting timing. You stop begging for what's not meant for you and start preparing for what is. It's a quiet kind of strength, the kind that says, I don't need to chase. What's mine will find me. That mindset shifts everything. It turns pain into purpose and endings into evolution. The weight you lose when you let go is more than emotional. It's spiritual. You start feeling lighter, freer, more in tune with your path. Sometimes the hardest part isn't letting go of what hurt you, but letting go of what made you feel safe. Comfort zones are cozy, but they kill potential. You can't grow where you're too comfortable. You can't discover new parts of yourself while staying where it's familiar. Letting go is choosing faith over fear, growth over comfort, peace over attachment. It's understanding that what's gone served its purpose and what's coming will serve your next one. You start to realize that every release is an invitation to rise. You're not losing your life, you're leveling it up. One act of surrender at a time. Trust the process. Words that sound simple but carry deep truth. It's easy to believe in yourself when everything is going right, but the real test comes when life gets uncertain. The process is the part nobody sees, the grind, the waiting, the setbacks, the doubts, the lonely nights where you question if what you're doing even matters. That's where character is built. Everyone wants a finish line, but few are willing to walk through the fire it takes to get there. Trusting the process means believing that every step, even the hard ones, purpose. It's knowing that the lessons are just as important as the wins. The process is never clean. It's full of unexpected turns, delays, and moments that make you want to quit. Sometimes it feels like you're moving backward instead of forward. You do everything right and still don't see results. That's when most people give up thinking it's not meant to be. But that's not how it works. Growth isn't linear. You don't level up in straight lines. You grow in cycles. Some days you're planting seeds. Some days you're watering them, and some days you're waiting for something to break through the soil. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. The process is always working, even in silence. Trusting the process means surrendering control over how things unfold. You can't rush divine timing. What's meant for you is being built behind the scenes, opportunities, connections, lessons, and growth, all aligning in ways you can't yet see. When you rush the process, you rob yourself of the wisdom that comes with it. Every struggle has a reason. Every delay teaches patience. Every rejection redirects you towards something better. When you start seeing life that way, you stop taking detours personally and start seeing them as part of the route. The detours are still leading you home. It's easy to lose faith when the process stretches longer than expected. You start comparing yourself to others, wondering why they're moving faster or getting results sooner. But comparison is a thief of peace and progress. Everyone has their own timeline. Just because your breakthrough hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Maybe your foundation is being built deeper so you can handle something greater. Some people get success quickly and lose it just as fast because they never built the disciplined mindset or resilience to keep it. The process makes sure you're strong enough to hold what you've been asking for. Sometimes trusting the process means sitting in discomfort. It means facing your fears, confronting your insecurities, and dealing with the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. The process exposes what needs healing before elevation. It's not punishment, it's preparation. The universe will test you to see if you're really ready for what you've prayed for. You can't ask for peace and still cling to chaos. You can't ask for abundance while operating from scarcity. The process strips away everything that doesn't belong so that what remains is authentic and aligned. That stripping hurts, but it's necessary. When you trust the process, you stop needing instant results to feel validated. You start valuing progress over perfection. You learn to celebrate small wins, knowing they're steps towards something greater. You stop rushing and start refining. Every challenge sharpens your focus. Every failure builds your strength. And every delay deepens your patience. Over time, you realize that the process isn't against you, it's building you. It's teaching you to stand firm in uncertainty, to keep faith when the evidence doesn't match the vision. The process also reveals who's real around you. When you're in your building phase, not everyone will understand your silence or your focus. Some people will fall away because they can't handle your growth. Don't fight that, it's part of the alignment. The people meant for your next chapter will meet you there. The process filters your circle just like it shapes your character. That's why you can't skip it. Every phase serves a purpose. even the painful ones. Trusting the process is really about trusting yourself. It's about knowing that you've been through storms before and made it out stronger. It's about remembering that you're being guided. Even when it doesn't look like it, you learn to stop forcing doors open and instead prepare yourself for the one that's meant to open. You realize that life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Every moment, every test, every pause is part of your preparation. When you finally look back, you'll see that the process never failed you. It shaped you, refined you, and positioned you exactly where you needed to be. All those moments of doubt, confusion, and waiting were molding you into the person capable of living the life you once dreamed of. That's the beauty of trusting the process. One day you wake up and realize everything you were worrying about was just working itself into place the whole time. When you stop worrying, everything really does fall into place, not because life suddenly gets easy, but because, you get aligned. You start leading with faith instead of fear, controlling only what's yours to control, and trusting the timing of your growth. You learn patience when things move slow. You protect your energy when chaos surrounds you, and you let go of what no longer serves your purpose. You stop fighting the process and start flowing with it. Every delay, every detour, every challenge begins to make sense because you see it's all shaping you into the person you were meant to become. Life isn't about perfect timing, it's about perfect trust. When your heart is right, your focus steady, and your energy clear, the universe responds. You start attracting peace instead of pain, clarity instead of confusion, and progress instead of pressure. That's when you realize worrying never changed the outcome, but peace always changes your perspective. So keep faith in your journey, no matter how uncertain it feels. Everything you're working for, everything you're dreaming about is already aligning behind the scenes. You just have to stay ready, stay grateful, and stay grounded. Thank you for listening, and remember, your breakthrough might not happen overnight, but it will happen on time. Keep trusting, keep growing, and keep showing up for yourself even on the days it feels heavy. You're not lost. You're being led. Good luck on your journey. May every step you take be guided by peace, powered by patience, and blessed by purpose.